Today we're going to talk about putting together a survival binder. Alright, as you can see in the background here, I've got bunches of different books that might come in handy in a survival situation, and they're great to have. Don't get me wrong, you should have a very well stacked survival library. A lot of these books I've purchased over the years from used bookstores, from gun shows, a lot of these handbooks from the Department of the Army, military handbooks. Some I brought online. This is the Ranger Digest, if you ever run into this guy. Ranger Rick P.F. Cherne, T-S-C-H-E-R-N-E. A really good bunch of books. I have a couple more of these put away. But they're books, and they're specific. They're on one thing. What I've done is created a survival binder here. Now this survival binder contains all of my information. It has a few CDs in it, which I've taken out for the purpose of this video, because what we're trying to do here is gather a bunch of information offline for our use should the power go out, should there be a huge disaster, should we have to leave our homes and need the information with us and we didn't have time to grab a tablet, or our cell phone doesn't work anymore, or the lines are down, whatever. I have a bunch of information that I found over the years that I've printed up and put in a binder. Now the binder is left over from, I think it was left over from some campaign that my wife and I ran many years ago. And it's a decent binder. You can get them at Walmart for a couple bucks. They're really cheap. And I've separated it into sections. So this first section here deals with food. Second section here deals with water, and so on. And these are just articles that I found on the web that I think would be valuable. And I've been doing this for a while. This was printed 7/13/2002. I've been doing this for a while. I haven't really gotten, in recent years, too much new in here, because a lot of the basic information that I've put in here is still true and still holds true today. These are projects that I want to build possibly, or could build after some kind of emergency. So anyway, it's just an offline store of all the information you can possibly think of that you might need during a disaster. And it's a broad focus. I even have a section here on weapons I might encounter in a disaster scenario, how I can take them apart, how I can clean them, repair them, work on them. So it's got a bunch of very different topics. I have a nuclear, biological, and chemical section in here in case of a chemical attack or a chemical spill. And this is really for use when you are offline and unable to use your computer. Books are great. Some of these books here that I've had for a while, like this one here. I got this in a used bookstore. It's a Family Emergency Handbook. Really good, loads of very basic information. It's by the Emergency Nurses Association. There's a lot of first aid stuff in here. And there's also a lot of very basic emergency preparedness stuff that most of us should know already. What to do when fire strikes, technological and man-made disasters. But it's basic knowledge, and it's very focused and very simple, basic reading. So with my survival binder, I can grab this, I can go, and I've got everything that I need in it. Basically, I put it together by this. I have one of these ancient old 3-hole punches. When I find an article, this is a recipe I've been looking to put in here for a while. It's Banach Bread. If you watched my video I did a while back, this is the recipe for it. Again, the recipe is really simple, but in the heat of an emergency, I may be like, oh, did they call for 2 tablespoons of flour or 3, or, it's in my binder. Now I'm set. I do need to buy a bigger one, however, because it's gotten to the point now where I can't open it up. Can't get it big enough. So that's something I'm going to be upgrading this year. But that's basically the survival binder project. When you find an article that you read that really hits home, it might just be basic survival knowledge. It might be how to do something, a project to build after a collapse or a disaster. Print it up, stick it in your survival binder. Anyway, Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. Glad to have you guys with us in 2016. We got lots of exciting stuff coming up, so stay tuned.